In the year 1921, a little girl named Helen was born in a small town in India. At just 18 months old, a high fever left her almost completely deaf. Her family feared she would never live an independent life. But Helen wasn't ready to accept silence as her destiny. She worked tirelessly to learn how to lip read and eventually mastered speech. Against all odds, she went on to college, something that seemed almost impossible for someone with a hearing disability back then in India. Inspired by Helen Keller's story, she later became one of the first women in India to teach children with hearing impairments. Helen's journey reminds us disability is not the end of dreams. It can be the beginning of a completely new way of experiencing the world. Now imagine this for a moment. A child in a kindergarten who cannot say her first word clearly. She wants to call out to her teacher, but her speech stumbles. Or an elderly grandfather who once loved storytelling, but now sits in silence because he cannot hear his grandchildren anymore. Or a stroke survivor desperate to seek water without choking yet struggling with every swallow. These are not isolated incidents. These are everyday realities for millions. Real people, real struggle, and often real silence. This silence is where metamorphosis begins. So, welcome back to Metamorphosis with Tonusree. I am your host, Tonusree Majumdar, and this is the podcast where we celebrate changemakers who transform challenges into opportunities and ignite the fire within you. Today's story is about an organization that is not just helping people hear or speak, but helping them rediscover dignity, purpose, and life itself. This is the story of Bengal Rehabilitation Group, or the BRG. BRG's founder, Dr. Suporno grew up in a lower middle class family in Pujali, Budge Budge. Childhood was joyful, playful, and rooted in Bengal's para culture. Yet, even as a child, one thing stood out. He was always a leader. From a class monitor in a primary school to graduation, he carried responsibility with him. As a boy, he saw jute mills in his neighborhood locked down, leaving workers jobless overnight. He dreamt of one day reviving those mills to bring happiness to struggling families. Even then, he wanted to do something unusual for his peers, something that mattered. Life, however, took him on another path. Suporno wanted to pursue MBBS but didn't get through. Still, his pull towards hospital and critical care was strong. By accident or perhaps by destiny, he entered the world of rehabilitation. What began as chance became his life's calling. Suporno founded Bengal Rehabilitation Group in 2018. Bengal because it is the root. Rehabilitation because the vision was never about just treatment, but about the total rehabilitation. And group because he always imagined many people coming together as one family. But BRG didn't begin in a glory. It was born out of pain. After the failure of previous ventures, Suporno was branded as a cheater. Relatives, peers, and friends whispered behind his back. What hurt most was the thought that his wife and daughter might forever be labeled as a cheater's family. So he started BRG with one purpose: to prove his integrity, rebuild his dignity, and serve with honesty. The journey wasn't easy. He was financially blocked everywhere, mentally broken by everybody, and ridiculed, and often being told, "I told you so." Who said business was easy? And professionally isolated as nobody wanted to associate with him. Competitors even tried to push him out completely. There was a moment when he nearly gave up. He had promised his wife never to pawn her jewelry again for business. Out of desperation, he considered selling BRG to a competitor. But in that darkest moment, his wife placed her last piece of jewelry in his hand and as a silent act of fate that saved BRG. Suporno often says he is not just a founder but a devotee of rehabilitation. For him, this is not merely a business, it is his Kurukshetra, his Dharma Yudh, a fight to prove that honesty, resilience and faith can create something lasting. So what is BRG today? It is Bengal's largest hospital-based hearing and speech chain, a medtech rehabilitation startup that bridges hospitals, clinics and patients directly. Its services cover every single stages of life from newborns to senior citizens. The services has advanced diagnostics, audiometry, tympanometry, BRA, VMP, ENG and stroboscopy. In therapies, he has speech, language, voice and swallow therapy, helping stroke survivors, cancer patients, Parkinson's patients, premature infants and children with delayed speech. He also has a hub and spoke model and digital innovations where he is working now presently called the Hearing Up app, a zero-cost mobile solution that helps people with mid to moderate hearing loss manage conversations with dignity. The vision is to shift the perception of hearing loss from medical stigma to a cosmetic choice, and the mission is hearing for all through a zero-cost hearing solution. Suporno observed 3 crore core problems in India. One is lack of awareness, wherein hearing aid use is still a stigma. Lack of availability, very few qualified audiologists are present currently, and lack of affordability. Hearing aids are really very costly, from 25,000 to 7 lakhs with recurring expenses. BRG's plan is to fill this gap by becoming an awareness engine and offering solutions that make hearing accessible to all smartphone users, improving quality of life and dignity. So the man behind BRG, let's talk about Suporno. Suporno has completed his Bachelor's of Audiology and Speech Language Pathology in the year 2018 and is registered under the Rehabilitation Council of India. He has worked across Kolkata's top hospitals like INK, CMRI, Woodlands, Fortis, Peerless, Narayana, AMRI and serving more than 14,000 patients. He had also volunteered for 11 years with the Behala Novoprayas, an NGO supporting underprivileged children with special needs. Suporno's contribution includes supporting critical care teams in hospitals to reduce aspiration risk in patients, establishing the need for speech pathologists in multi-speciality hospital, creating employment for skilled and semi-skilled workers, leading awareness campaigns, and much more. Suporno founded Bengal's largest hospital-based hearing and speech chain, profitable from its first year of incorporation, and awarded patents in India and USA with more under review in Europe and Canada. Envisaging a future rehab city, this is his aim in his life now. From failure and stigma, BRG has grown into a family. Each therapist, staff members and patients is a part of his shared journey. The culture is simple. This is my organization. BRG's dream is bold, to become the largest rehabilitation organization in the world. But for Suporno, success is not just about numbers, it's about resilience. Egiye chola, cholte thaka, till your last breath. So the story of BRG is proof that silence can be transformed into strength, despair into hope, and one person's resilience into a movement. This is what Metamorphosis is all about. I'm Tonusree, and you have been listening to Metamorphosis, the podcast that celebrates change makers who transform challenges into opportunities and ignite fire within you. If this story moved you, if it made you pause and think about resilience in a new way, please don't forget to like, share and subscribe. The support helps us bring more such inspiring stories to life. Next week, we have something truly special lined up. We'll be meeting the founder of Bengal Rehabilitation Group, Dr. Suporno, a visionary who is transforming lives through social entrepreneurship. Get ready to hear firsthand how his passion and purpose can create ripples of change, blending innovations with real-world impact. Until then, this is Tonusree signing off from Metamorphosis. Stay grounded, stay bold, and as always, ignite the fire within you. Bye-bye.